Democracy is a great idea, but capitalism obviously and continually destroys democracy. Democracy is seen in nature. For one example, birds, especially social species like pigeons, demonstrate forms of democratic decision making in the wild. Rather than relying on a single leader to make all choices, birds often use consensus based democratic processes to decide when, where, and how to move. In these cases, without capitalism, the majority of birds nearly always make decisions that are in the best interests of the whole group. In the human world, however, capitalism generates conditions within democracy that easily lead to something called tyranny of the majority. The concept of tyranny of the majority describes a situation where the will of the majority infringes upon the rights or interests of a minority group. For example, the Jim Crow era in the United States demonstrates how laws enacted by white majorities enforced racial segregation and denied basic social and economic rights to African Americans. There are many other obvious examples of how capitalism continually stifles democracy. Wealthy individuals and corporations dominate political discourse, which marginalizes the voices of the less affluent. The capitalistic workplace is not based on democracy. It's essentially a dictatorship because workers usually have no say in any business decisions. In general, businesses prioritize profit over what's best for the whole group of workers and for humanity as a whole. There are many other obviously wrong capitalistic policies and conditions that add to these misguided anti democracy dynamics. Crony capitalism is a rampant condition whereby people give jobs and perks to their friends. Nepotism is a rampant condition whereby people give jobs and perks to their family members. And then there's lobbying, where people essentially buy votes. In a so called democracy, how is lobbying even legal? In general, democracy is anti tyranny, while capitalism is pro wealth tyranny. This is why, in America, for one large example, it can be argued that democracy is functionally dead because capitalism effectively killed it. In America, democracy is just a facade because while democratic symbols and language still exist, internally, using capitalism, corporations and oligarchs have seized all levers of power. Ultimately, this comes down to one fundamental statement that settles this entire topic. With democracy, nobody wants to be a slave. But under capitalism, everybody wants to be a boss master. Yeah, the word boss comes from a Dutch word that means master. Undoubtedly, capitalism destroys democracy.